Hi, sixth graders, it's Ms. Schwer here again. Today we're going to do area of a triangle. I first want to show you because it's very similar for area of a parallelogram. So our formula for a parallelogram is area equals base times height, which was our shape of our parallelogram. In order to do a triangle, it makes sense that you're going to divide by 2 because if I took my parallelogram and I cut it in half, so I'm taking a 4-sided figure, cutting in half, and now I'm left with 2 triangles. Okay, the 2 triangles should be the same size, at least close enough, because I cut them. So anytime you have a parallelogram, half of it would be a triangle. So that's why we're dividing by 2. There's actually a second formula that you can use, and that one you use more if you're using fractions. So this is the one we're going to use the most often. If it is a fraction one, or if you like to, some students just like using this one, you're going to multiply it by half. So it makes sense, you're either going to divide by 2 or multiply half. In both ways, you should still get the right answer. So we're going to do 4 problems, just like we did for area of a parallelogram, to practice to see how that you guys know what you're doing. So the first one we're going to do is the easiest. So number 1, if you guys want to write this one down, again, pause the video if I'm talking too fast or you just need more time. So we have our regular right triangle. For this one, my base is going to be 8 inches and my height is going to be 9 inches. Okay, so I'm starting with the same formula that I used yesterday, except now you're going to be, you're going to divide by 2 instead. So I have base times height divided by 2. So now I'm plugging my numbers in. So area equals 8 times 9 divided by 2. Okay, again, you can still use a calculator like you could yesterday, so don't be afraid to use one. Remember, calculators you can use anywhere you find them. But I do want you to write this down because that shows me that you at least know what numbers to plug in. So for this one, 8 times 9 would be 72. Half of 72 would be 36. Okay, 36, yep. So our area would be area equals 36, and my labels would be inches, and because we're talking about area, it has to be inches squared. Okay, again, if you use this formula, it'd be the same thing. 8 times 9 would be 72 times a half would give you 36 as well. So either way, you still get the right answer. Okay, like I said, this is probably the most common one. This one is more when using fractions, and we will do fraction one so that you have some experience with that. Okay, so that was number 1. So again, if you need to pause it, go ahead. And then I'm going to grab the next one. So our next one is an obtuse triangle. So that's number 2. Alright, so that one is going to be 13 feet. Now, this is the one that's kind of goofy because normally you see that height straight up here, but because it doesn't go to the other corner, because this is our base, and the height has to go to the tip of it, you're going to see it look like this again. So this is kind of one of those odd ones where the height is actually on the outside. So the height for this one is 6 feet. Okay, so again, if you see it over there, that's still the height. Alright, so we're using the same formula, area equals base times height divided by 2. Plugging my values in, area equals base is 13, height is going to be 6 divided by 2. So grab your calculator. Again, remember, every time you do them on your calculator, you should do them twice. So 13 times 6 equals, so hit equals first, then divide by 2. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Equals first, then divide by 2. Alright, I got the same answer both times, and hopefully you did as well. My area equals 39. My label would be feet, and then it's going to be squared because we're talking about area. Alright, so that was the second one. Those should be probably more basic. They're both whole numbers. One was a right triangle, one was an obtuse triangle, so just a little bit different kinds, but similar. Plug them in, you should get the answer. Alright, we'll go to number 3. Number 3 is a little bit trickier because it's with fractions, so we're going to be using that second one. We're using, once again, our basic right triangle. This one I'm going to have 5.5 centimeters. Oh, this is 5.5 centimeters and 4 2/3 centimeters. okay? This time I'm gonna use this formula, and you'll see that in just a minute. So, area equals, we're gonna do a half times, now I have it with a parenthesis, you're gonna be multiplying all of those, but if you wanna still leave it like that, you can. So base is going to be 4 2/3 times height is 5 1/2. All right, now again, this is back to multiplying fractions lessons, so I have to make them all regular fractions, so no mixed numbers. So area equals 1/2. Now I'm gonna get rid of the parentheses as well. Denominator stays the same. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 more would be 14, times, denominator is 2, stay the same. 2 times 5 plus 1 more would be 11. Okay, next thing I'm gonna look for is there anywhere I can cross cancel to get nicer numbers? I can look, and there's more than one option. I'm gonna do these two right here, a 2 and a 14. I'm gonna divide them both by 2, divide by 2. Rewrite my problem. 1, this is now gonna be 1. This is gonna be 7, 3, 11, 2. Is there anywhere else I can cross cancel? There isn't, so I'm just gonna multiply straight across and I get 77/6. 77/6. I'm gonna use a dump and divide method, so I'm gonna go over here. 77 divided by 6. It's gonna fit in once here, which gives me 6. Bring on 17. 6 goes in, is it 2? 2. Yeah. I'm left with 5. So 5 left over, denominator's gonna be 6. 5 is my answer. So 12 and 5, 6. So my area is gonna be 12 and 5, 6. And it's gonna be centimeters squared. Okay? Now, so on a fraction one, it makes the most sense to use this formula. You still could use that one, but this one makes the most sense. But it's completely up to you. All right, and then we're going to go to our last one. This one I'm going to use a decimal for. Number 4. All right, number 4. Now, number 4 is going to be one of those backwards ones where I'm going to give you, so I have my, actually, I have a triangle that looks like this. All right, so my base is going to be 8.6 meters. My height is going to be an unknown, so this one was backwards. But my area is 12.9. And it's going to be meters. Okay, so I'm going to start with my formula. So area equals base times height divided by 2. Area equals, oops, I don't know my area. Alright, my area is 12.9. My base is going to be 8.6. I do not know my height, so I'm going to leave that as my h, divide by 2. Okay, we talked about this in the last chapter, how to get rid of, because this one's not as easy to just go quickly backwards like we could in the area of a parallelogram. So I actually have to split my problem into 2, and I have to work backwards. So I'm going to start with, I need to get rid of this divide by 2. Okay, so the opposite of dividing by 2 would be to times both sides by 2, and that would get rid of it. If I do that, that would then be gone, and I'm left with 8.6 times h. Okay, so again, grab that calculator, or you can do it in your head because this won't take very long. If you're multiplying by 2, 25.9, 25.8 equals 8.6 times h. So now I have a multiplication problem. I want to do the opposite. So I'm going to divide both sides by 8.6. That would get rid of it, and I'm left with h equaling whatever that is. I'm taking my calculator, 25.8 divided by 8.6. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. 25.8 divided by 8.6. And I got 3. So I got 3 both times. I'm gonna flip them around just so that I can have room for my label. It's gonna be 3. Now I'm figuring out what this one is. So that's that goofy one where you have to make sure that you use the right label. It's just gonna be 3 meters. It is not 3 meters squared, just regular 3 meters. Okay, so this is one where you're working backwards. So you're doing all those steps in the backward order so that you can solve them. All right. So we're just gonna do those 4 problems. You did 2 basic regular whole number ones, and then we did one with fractions where you got to use the other one, and then we did one where you work backwards. Obviously, if you need more practice in the book or to use the website online, please use that. The homework that goes along with this one, there's 5 questions on the Reteach Triangles page. And then I will put the answer key up for those the next day. So hopefully area of a triangle makes sense after the lessons you did before spring break and after this. And then you're gonna do the same thing in your notebook, put the answers to the homework in the 3rd section where it's a homework practice. All right, have a good rest of your day.